Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again. We're here at the Starladder I-League Invitational Season 3, taking a look at our first game of our second day of coverage of this event here in the CIS Qualifiers. I'm Lyrical, joined as well by Aosin. Unfortunately, we're already immediately into this game. They were picking rapidly and got some interesting picks to start here. But yeah, Aosin, how you doing, my man? You ready for some great Dota 2 today?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm just tired. I just woke up.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm kind of with you as well. It's been a long series of days, but also some great Dota going on. I don't know if you caught it, but we had a couple of upsets in Southeast Asia earlier today as well. TNC and Fnatic both dropping to Fire Dragoon and what was the other one? Like IBM Esports or something like that. I don't know what the hell it was, but they ended up rocking it. So Boom ID, that's what the name was. Yeah, insanity stuff going on. A lot of upsets.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, that's always good to hear. Yeah. Once again, it's really early in the season. You know, teams are kind of just starting out, so anything can happen.
For sure. And speaking of which, we see an opening from Gambit Esports of IoTiny. For those of you who will remember, I was about to say Vanscore. This is not the Empire game. Vanscore comes a little bit later on. I want to see how Gambit ended up running this, because it's not a lineup that we always end up seeing. I think yesterday we had Iceberg from Team Spirit run the IoTiny, and he just dominated, and they kept, like, won the game in 17 minutes or something like that.
Yep. That was actually very impressive. But the thing is, like, that draft was kind of hidden in a way. This is like opened with it, you know, straight up with Tiny. So I'm kind of curious as to how they're gonna run this. Like, they're already up against AA, Void, and a Kunkka. This is not an easy Wisp Tiny game.
Yeah, not necessarily the easiest puck game either. I guess if you're chronoing just the Wisp, then it's probably, I don't know. It's hard to say if that's worth it or not, but it certainly is one way that you can lock down those very mobile heroes.
10 seconds remaining.
Of course, with all that healing that you want to give from the IO Ancient Apparition, stops that from happening. That being said, how do you feel about like the Kunkka Ancient Apparition as a duo support combo? I feel like it's not like that, you know, bang bang, Earthshaker, stun somebody from fog, make something happen. It feels like it's a little bit more slow to develop, the disable and crowd control that you have from Team NaVi.
I think while that's kind of true, I think you can supplement it with a core that can do that for you, I guess. Maybe they pick a core that can set up for the Kunkka, for example, or the AA. Maybe they'll run a CK, or what was the other one that we saw? Oh, we saw a lot of Wraith King as well.
Team pick.
Beastmaster.
Okay, I mean, Beastmaster, not exactly, you know, the kind of core that really, you know, you've seen too often, but in the past, people run Beastmaster and AA, so this is another setup. You have a Void setup, you have a Beastmaster setup, you have a Kunkka setup. Like, this AA is going to have a very easy time hitting ultimates.
5 seconds remaining.
That's something certainly that you would love to be able to do. Maybe this is just the preferred playstyle for General. I think that they banned out, they actually didn't ban out his Batrider. That's normally like his go-to hero. And now I'm assuming we're waiting for the Dendi hero. Maybe it's a Dendi Ancient Apparition and he's going to throw us all for a loop, but probably not going to be the play here, I would imagine. Witch Doctor taken as well. So another great team fight, strong laning support. Do you expect that this is going to be the IoTiny like in mid with a puck off lane, or how do you feel like Gambit's going to try and lane this?
I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case. I think it should be with Tiny in the middle lane, then puck in the off lane. Witch Doctor, like one of the better supports to pick up when you're up against a Beastmaster. You can very easily deal with the boars by casting them, because they get stunned and they take a ton of damage from the cast.
That's true. That's one of the more frustrating things to play against. I don't play Beastmaster that often, but when I do, and I play against a Witch Doctor, I am intimately aware of how much that cast sucks to play against. Okay, well, we'll see how that ends up working out for them. I'm still kind of curious if maybe they try and run something funky by maybe like sending somebody with the Beastmaster. Is that something that could work out at all? To try and like pressure this lane? It feels like it'd be hard to do that against the Witch Doctor already.
Yeah, especially since you don't really want to put an ancient apparition with the Beastmaster because he doesn't really do anything. And then if you put Kunkka with him, you have 2 melee heroes running around together. So I'm pretty sure this Beastmaster is going to be either soloing the lane or just going into the jungle.
All right. Well, Invoker taken out now, as well as the Drow Ranger, not wanting to give Gambit that early pressuring hero that can cause so many issues. And I think that if they did that, obviously an easy setup with Tiny IO mid and then Puck off lane, you could just bully around the Ancient Apparition and Kunkka who'd be there. Maybe a little bit less palatable now for Gambit, but they still could rant lane it a lot of different ways. Do you like the idea of like an offlane here more or a mid hero more?
For Gambit?
Yeah.
I think they should pick a safe lane hero. I think they just offlane Puck and then they mid Tiny Wisp.
Okay.
They should pick like I would like for them to try something like a carry silencer here, because I think if they just stack on not disables, but like silences, it makes their life a lot easier. It makes the Wisp Tiny work a lot better because it makes it much safer to relocate in. Because I mean, the way you look at the lineup right now, if they relocate, you're gonna deal with a Roar or an Ice Blast or a Chronosphere, you know, anything like that.
Razor.
They're gonna go with Razor. Actually, I like this Razor pick too. It's one of the ways you can deal with the Void from outside the Chrono.
Yeah, I guess that it's kind of
remaining.
I mean, they still can throw damage inside of it outside of just the Void hitting somebody, though, right? Like you could throw a boat and an AA blast on top of it.
While that is true, you have to remember you have a Wisp on the other side, so you can always get relocated out. And I think like something like a Glimmer Cape would be good enough to defend you for a long enough time to get you out.
Yeah.
They're gonna go with Zeus.
All right, Zendi Zeus, it's happening. I was never like I came into the scene a little bit later in the day, so I never got to like revel in the glory that was early Dendi play. Was Zeus one of his like big heroes that he would go to a lot?
Not that I recall.
Okay, all right. Well, I was trying to build a storyline there, but apparently it's just dead in the water, anyways.
I don't think I've ever. I don't remember the last time I've seen him play Zeus. There's always been a lot of heroes, a lot of different heroes, but yeah, I mean, he's definitely played it. It's just not something I remember him playing it.
It's not like a standout in the same way that a Pudge or whatever else would be.
Actually, now that you put it that way, I feel like Pudge is like the only thing I can remember him for.
Yeah. Like maybe Quap. He had probably some good Quap play, maybe.
No. Don't get me wrong. Like he plays a lot of different heroes.
Right.
But if you're talking about being known for something, then it's kind of hard to think of anything.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, because he played like a lot of Queen of Pain, like TA, Lena. I mean, he can play everything.
Right. Always want to fly and Roger going to run into each other. Roger did the classic in this off season. Moved from Empire to NaVi. It's like it's multiple years ago. And looks like Dendi is just going to be heading out here towards mid. I was kind of wondering if we were going to see like an early TP pickup by Dendi and then have like the X marks the spot TP back play to refill him up to max HP and mana or something like that.
30 seconds to battle.
Maybe we still might end up seeing it.
Yeah, you might see it.
Oh.
Wisp is breaking trees ready. Going to be going for early stacks.
We were looking at the yesterday same type of thing happening, but we didn't actually have that many stacks that got made because it felt like teams were always having to move in and help keep the Tiny alive, the Wisp. So we'll have to watch if there's maybe a little bit better stacking going on in this game at all. The first look at the new NaVi squad, as well as the new Gambit esports squad. See how they end up being able to do in these CIS qualifiers or Star Ladder. And Always Want to Fly is actually up here to try and stop General from, I guess, blocking the range creep was their thought, but he's going to be able to move over and steal the creep wave instead. So this will be a nice start for General. It's
always good to see new organizations come to Dota. think Gambit's CSGO team is incredibly good.
I don't watch a ton of CSGO, but it is one of those names that always feels like it pops up a little bit when people talk about big organizations in esports. But yeah, definitely. It's definitely cool. Immortals talking about getting a Dota 2 squad as well. That was a pretty big announcement that went off. Cheshire Cat just playing it right along the edge there. It's going to salve back up to full HP, but brought down the AA fairly low. And they were able to get the double stack there as well. Nicely done by Bignum.
Wait, so Neko has to be careful, right? Okay, no. Cheshire Cat. Oh, didn't even get his orb off. I thought he was going to go for Seneko there.
Seneko plays the margins as well and is going to be able to wait on using his salve, but we'll be back up to full HP. Doesn't have any mana to use right now, but probably like spamming cold feet against the puck doesn't really feel that great anyways, I don't imagine.
Well, unfortunately for him, his sentry is not going to connect. So he has nothing to work with here. This really hurts the AA.
Yeah, he did not end up being able to get the D ward there, and that one right on the edge going to cause some trouble. So I guess is your play now just to move over rune control and try and get as many bounties as you can? Roger moving in right now. It's going to get caught, so Arcane Rune picked up by Seneko. Looks like he's instead just going to have to suffice to go and get his own rune, not wanting to possibly find the puck over in the jungle. And in the meantime, Roger is able to do the little walk away there.
Yeah, it's really hard for the supports to actually kill a Kunkka, especially since it's Wisp and Witch Doctor. That's only level 1.
There's not a whole hell of a lot that you can do against a Kunkka at that point. Already I mean, he starts out with pretty decent strength and everything else. General getting a lot of damage still in there. I think that he might have taken a bounce from the coconuts as well. And that's going to force him back. But he's gotten decent levels here. Level 3 as well as the puck getting that amount. Do you feel like they're fairly happy with the way that the laning stage has gone so far? Like they also have stacks to retreat to back in the jungle here that Bignum is now going to be able to get for a second time around. I think at least. This should stack. Yeah, he got it.
Hey, this is really important for the Tiny. This Tiny is going to be pretty freaking farmed once he clears it. So Gambit are definitely happy with how the lanes are going.
Yeah.
If anything, I think NaVi are probably struggling a little bit, simply because Ancient Apparition has finally... Actually, no, I think the ward just ran out. Yeah, the ward just ran out, so he hasn't been able to pull at all.
Yeah, that one is... it was just a sentry ward that was dropped there on the high ground, so...
Yeah, he missed the sentry ward.
Right.
So he really has nothing to work with. He's gonna, like you said, he's just gonna have to resort to stealing bounty runes, and that is definitely not the kind of pace you want your Ancient Apparition to be leveling at.
Yeah, Seneko, I mean, he's known for not really getting a lot of farm often. Roger here is trying to save the DD and is gonna have to pick it up now. So Denny not able to go for that to refill his bottle. They do have a TP right now on Roger, so they could think about doing that play that we were talking about where you send him back home if he needs to refill his bottle. But at least for now, they're going to hold off.
Puck is 4.5, which is actually really good. That means that Dendi is suffering. Because Dendi is only 4.5 right now, too. So he's sharing a lot of EXP with the supports. Oh, Roger.
Where are you at? What is
no
he
man's
doing?
land.
Is he trying to go for a chicken Skype with the DD? He's just trying to head out of there, I imagine. He is going to spot the courier, and now moving over by Bignum is going to just be able to punch him in the face a few times. I don't really know if that's going to amount to much, but he'll TP back now to the shrine and head to mid, where Dendi's going to start to be able to soak up some more of this experience. I mean, the nice part about it for Dendi is he does have a big creep wave that's coming in now, so this will get him probably back up to about even with the rest of them, I would imagine. Yeah, he's up there now towards the top of the levels. I guess the other question is, it feels to me as if Gambit is kind of building up this stock of net worth in the stacks that they've been making, and they also have been getting more for their supports a little bit. Is this something that you would be worried at all about for NaVi at this stage of the game? Because it feels like with everything static, Gambit's kind of just getting more out of the map.
Yeah, I think you would have to be worried, because I think if Gambit gets their stuff going on before you do, before NaVi does, I mean, there's a very high possibility that they just like start snowballing, and then there's like almost no way of coming back for NaVi. Oh,
it heals like the salty air.
Roger will get that. Bignum also was able to get a D ward here on the stacks that he was making. Not exactly sure that how he knew that it was there, but they end up being able to D ward that. Oh, that was
because of Roger's adventures. Yeah, that's why.
Okay, I see. That makes sense. Well, Roger now hitting level 3. He has 2 in X, so they can possibly make a play. They do have the Beastmaster Hawk here at least now, so that will scout out what's happening in this area, and if Coolman decides to head back and try and take out that stack. But I don't know. I'm feeling more and more concerned for NaVi here, depending upon how the game ends up going. That being said, their CSing is pretty good. Beastmaster maybe a little bit ahead of the puck, but that also is a lot of...
Aurora top.
Yeah, they're able to catch now onto the Razor. He isn't taking any damage from the tower, but with Seneko moving in, first blood is going to be drawn 7 minutes into the game. General picks it up.
Yeah, very nice rotation from the support. They're going to go clear the stacks immediately now, though.
Yeah. And people could move in to try and see if they can soak up some experience from this. We'll see if it ends up working at all. The stack is being taken, and they'll be able to go for the shrine immediately afterwards. So even though they find a kill on the Razor up top, there's something else gained for Gambit.
Only managing to clear out one of them. Still one more to go.
Yeah.
It's not too big. Actually, no, it's pretty big.
So we're seeing a good rotation. Beastmaster making something happen with this first level 6. Is that something that just needs to be replicated, and is Razor the right target? Like, could they opt to try and go for a tiny kill here? Like, it feels as if they don't shut him down, he's going to start being a real menace as this game goes on, since he almost is like more than halfway to his blink.
I think killing Razor is fine. I don't know if it's that important to kill the tiny. It would. I mean, it definitely would be nice to kill him before the Wisp hit 6 or before he finishes his Blink Dagger. But at the same time, General almost has his Necro 1. That's like a huge power boost to a Beastmaster. So I think at the rate he's going at, it's more important for him to finish his Necro first. And once he finishes Necro, I mean, he can almost solo kill most heroes.
Right. Yeah, that's important. Bignum level 4, so he's not going to be in that position where he can come and help out by the time the Necro book's online either, with a relocate gank to turn the thing around. Also worth noting, this tower has been slowly whittled down, and Cheshire Cat's going to have to go for the deny onto it now. We'll see if they can get it. Crystallize! Oh, he ends up being able to take it! Also, it's going to drop down the Chronosphere. That's going to be a kill, and maybe going to find Always Want to Fly as well. The chilly hands almost being the death of him right there. That was sick. Well done, Crystallize.
Yeah, that was well done. And not only that, they get the kill on the puck, which is a very big kill. And it's super important for the AA because, I mean, we talked about how badly Seneko needs the EXP.
Yeah. That is very, very true. And he is level 4 now. Maybe if they can clear out this stack here as well as get him the Tome of Knowledge, they're going to be in a decent position to try and, you know, make another gank happen with the next Chronosphere and an Ice Blast.
10-minute mark coming up right now. You're going to be able to buy that Tome of Experience.
I've been pretty impressed so far with Crystallize. Been keeping good control of the creep wave. Find that kill there on the puck, as well as going for the last hit. His bashes are going. Yeah, Roger. He will be killed off here, almost waiting for the toss. Oh, cool, man, he wants it, but he's not going to be able to find it instead. General roars, yells in his face, and Dendy finds the finish.
Baited. Unfortunately for General, he used his Necro, which kind of hurts.
Yeah. I mean, he'll be able to farm with it, but you'd love to be able to save that for a separate kill, I guess. But I guess it's...
Yeah.
I mean, they did kill the Tiny with it, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So we said that NaVi needed to make some stuff happen. Since then, they found 3 kills across the map with their ultimates.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about it now?
Well, I think with this lineup, it kind of goes both ways, too. I think with the kind of start that they're having right now, if they continue this, it's going to be very hard for Gambit to kind of fight against it. Yeah. It's going to be one of those games where almost everything that they attempt to do is going to get, like, countered. They're going to relocate on someone, and then, you know, they trade one person for, like, 3 heroes, and it's going to keep happening.
Oh, look at this, too. There's the Hawk back behind the tower right now. They have Ice Blast available and 3 points up in X, so they will have the initiation if they can manage to push that creep wave under tower quickly enough, and looks like Razor is going to be the one that gets gone on. They do have relocate available. We'll see if they decide to commit it when this dive ends up happening by the tower. The only problem is that now with these creeps coming in, I don't know if they're going to be able to find it. There's going to be the Avatos combo, and Roger is going to bite the dust.
I'm just listening to the whiff sounds.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Tower is under attack.
I am happy.
I haven't seen it enough. Oh, Chrono in the bottom lane.
Another
But
puck
gets
kill.
caught out. A blast.
Crystallize, again, making the plays that his team needs him to. So Mask of Madness already online for the Faceless Void, top of the net worth. And now General moves in, able to find the roar onto the IO. He will be able to get the jump away, but not quick enough. Ulti comes in from Zeus, and that secures it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I'm definitely impressed. NaVi are just all over the place. It's so difficult for Gambit to kind of like regroup themselves. They just keep getting caught out by all these pickoff heroes.
I'm not gonna lie, I was ready to come in here and laugh at NaVi losing. Like that was what I was kind of expecting was gonna happen. They're showing up. Gotta keep it real. They're playing quite well. And compared to some of the teams that we saw yesterday as well, I feel like this is one of the cleanest executions we've seen so far.
Yeah, so far.
So far.
It's only 13 minutes. So there's a lot of time in Dota games.
Oh yeah.
You never know what we'll see. Sometimes you see like Aegis denies. Anything can happen.
Yeah, for anybody that missed that yesterday, Team Spirit were very close to being able to finish off the game, and then their sniper denied the Aegis, and then they lost. Granted, it took another 30 minutes after them for them to lose, but that one hurt a lot. All right, General has roar. Are they?
Relocate coming through.
Yep, trying to find it. Crystallize in trouble. He is going to die. Now they found Seneko as well. A-Blast going to connect now onto 2 of them. Seneko trying to bring down Big Num and does also have the Shrine heal to come in. General shows up, has a roar as well. Going to throw it now down on a Coolman with Roger and Denny showing up. NaVi is there in force and makes the plays they need.
Well, I think that wasn't too bad for Gambit. It was a 2-for-2 trade. They're not like super far behind either, so I think it's like kind of even.
Yeah, I guess the Faceless Void kill is also really huge since he was top net worth at the time.
Although I say it's even, but at the end of the day, NaVi take a tier 1 for it, so definitely not as even anymore.
Roger does have X-Boat as well, so they can't really step up that easily to come and defend. But the Razor will also get the tier 1 in the top lane.
Invisibility.
More importantly, though, General already has the Necro 3. He's incredibly strong right now. With Necro 3, I'm pretty sure you can solo kill anyone except for Tiny.
Uh-oh. Well,
Expo.
Oh, okay. That was, yeah, he went for the, okay, so that looked really bad, but he had to torrent for vision, and then once he had the vision, he ended up going for the X, and then the boat was just a little bit too late afterwards because he had to get within range. So it looked awful, but it's understandable how it happened.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire are scanning.
They did miss that though, and that's going to be a couple ultis on cooldown. The plus side is that they're both very low cooldown ultis. So
Radiant's bottom tower.
Oh, they want to defend this.
they're really going to take this fight. Okay, X now onto Kuman. The Torrent is going to connect this time, and this round they are going to be able to hit the AA blast. The ulti comes in. Coolman gets the relocate. He is still going to end up dying though. Unfortunately, there was too much DOT and also the AA blast on top of them. They have found themselves a Witch Doctor over here on the north side. They take down the Courier as well and Crystallize. We're going to pop the ultimate, drop down the Chronosphere, able to start dismantling him with a little bit of help here from Dendy as well. And Cheshire Cat shows up, turns it around now onto Dendy. Can he get the back?
No,
Can they stop him? They're not going to be able to do it. They break the TP. Cheshire Cat goes down. The ETA GG comes out from General, feeling good for himself. Team wipe across the map. Beautiful display from NaVi.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And this is kind of one of the main reasons why it's pretty scary to draft your Wisp Tiny so early on. That Kunkka like really makes it hard for you to relocate, save people out. He timed it right, and I believe the X just pulled him back, right?
I think so, yeah. It was very good. I'm not exactly sure. I was trying to keep
it was really hard to see because I was watching top 2, but I mean, regardless of what happened, I mean, he got AA blasted, right?
Yeah.
So he was pretty much dead. It was really hard for him to save. I was just kind of surprised that Gambit ended up losing the fight up top as well. I'm pretty sure they had 3 heroes up there, right? So it was like 2-on-3 at top and then 3-on-2 at bottom.
I think
5-0.
Oh, what? Do you see that? That was, I think, 2 Craggy procs in a row.
Oh, top. Oh, yeah, General found the Wisp as well.
Well done.
Uh-oh. Kuman. He has Blink.
Does have a Blink, and they end up jumping over to the south. Good decision not to go into the trees, since General would have been able to find him there, but now he's slowed down,
he gets
so
hit.
It might not end up mattering, and they have been able to find him. Crystallize took a lot of damage there, but they won't be able to blow him up. Meanwhile, Roger just going to be able to get the TP away and always want to fly. Not able to find the kill with that ulti.
General is playing so well. He's actually carrying as Beastmaster right now.
Yeah.
He is insanely farmed.
The thing that's nuts to me about this is that, by and large, this is like the same NaVi roster that was really, really struggling leading up to TI and all those other big tournaments around that time. I think that I'm wondering if just the difference is like getting more time understanding the patch and maybe more time playing together. Maybe it's Roger and the Crystallized that are the difference makers. I don't know. It feels like everybody's playing well though.
I feel like it's usually like a very large mix of things. It could be anything really.
Yeah.
I would definitely give most of the credit to the roster changes, so.
Okay. Well, General has Blink, Necro 3, and 1,300 gold on top of that. We'll see what he wants to go for. But 14-3, it's starting to feel like this one is going to get away from Gambit. And, they've had moments where things have looked quite good, and Coolman is still really hard to deal with. Echo Saber and building towards the Aghanim Scepter. But it kind of feels like they need to get into the back lines, these squishy heroes, a Dendy, or an Ancient Apparition getting blown up at the start of fight could kind of turn this all around for them.
That's actually kind of the scary thing too. I think that that Kuman actually isn't even that difficult to deal with. It's because of this Zeus pick. This Zeus pick makes it so much easier for them to burst anyone in the Chronosphere. Oh, Blink Roar, always gonna fly. See ya. He dies it like instantly.
Yeah, there's no way that's gonna end up going well for him. And Crystallize now has the Aegis. Went for the 25 damage talent. Who needs armor? Also Shadow Blade there and building towards a BKB. Meanwhile, Bloodstone is picked up for Dendy. I mean, there is always this worry when you take a look at these lineups, as we have a Oh no, another torrent, another boat, even dropped the chronosphere, every damn thing, and they get the relocate out though. Well done. Maybe Roger there could have saved the X to try and use it afterwards since they'd already committed the chrono, but they'll at least get the eye out from this, I believe. Yeah.
Well, it's just a wisp kill, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta do for your carry.
The way of the world. Okay, so how do NaVi try and shut this game out? It's pretty clear that Gambit just have to push creep waves and get Tiny farm. How do NaVi sort of stop that from happening?
Oh, they just gotta push in the lane and keep doing what they're doing. General alone is threatening enough for them to not want to push out that far. And if they decide to, then I mean it's a free kill. Like this puck can barely leave the tower. Like this puck has to defend the tower at the tower.
Right.
Look at these boards.
Yeah, man. It's the hit squad. They do a decent amount of damage.
They annihilate creeps. So Gambit doing the exact same thing again. This is where Tiny and Wisp are going to be playing at. Never going to leave this spot, so I'm pretty sure. Oh.
I thought about it. They're bringing up that Faceless Void as well. I mean, what can Io and Tiny really relocate together at all? There's so much like crowd control that they'd be TPing into. It feels like it's quite tough unless they have eyes on like at least the Kunkka or the Kunkka and the Faceless Void. If they don't know where they are, it's sort of a terrifying prospect.
Yeah, this is kind of why I was hoping for something like a silencer, simply because if you global, you can actually relocate without having to worry. Oh, bottom lane though. This could be Gambit's moment.
Alright, let's see. They find another X here onto Coolman. A blast is going to come through too, and just like clockwork, he's constantly getting hit in the face.
He's not even gonna survive.
They do get the relocate out, but the immediate X after the fact. Well played. They take down the AA though. Okay, maybe a little bit more coming in now. They have already gone forward though, and that's going to be the Razor dropping as well. The Witch Doctor ultimate is good, and they do take down the Aegis, but I don't think it's good enough. They'll get out, I believe, with Cheshire Cat and Bignum, but it's a 3-for-1 exchange, and that one was the AA. I guess the Aegis is worth a lot as well.
Yeah, I think the Aegis counts for quite a bit. That was really well played by Roger, though.
Oh.
Here I am.
Oh. That's the power of just the Kunkka here. On a 8-second cooldown, X marks the spot.
I wonder if Dendi waits for the Scepter first. Just farm your Scepter first.
Before what?
For Zeus. It makes your team fight so much easier. That Nimbus thing is insanely strong. It's so annoying to deal with, and he's still 4 levels away from the level 20, but once you have Nimbus up and you have the Lightning Bolt mini stun, it is the most annoying thing to deal with.
You know what I'm waiting to see? Somebody throw the Nimbus in the fountain to get the last hit on somebody as they TP out. That's the dream.
I'm pretty sure it's been done.
Yeah.
It can be done.
Well, another tier 2 tower goes down. Tiny did finish off his Agnum Scepter, so Ags, Echo Saber, and now it looks like next pick is probably going to be that AC. When is it that this guy starts to really get out of control and becomes a problem for NaVi? Is there a point where that happens, or is he always going to be easily controllable by the Kunkka and AA combo?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that that's what it feels like. I don't think there's really any point there that he's going to feel extremely threatening. Because there's always, even if he buys BKB, for example, you still have Beastmaster Roar as well as the Chronosphere.
Yeah.
And if he buys Lincoln, you still have the Chronosphere, so there's always an answer for him.
Yeah, it's tough to deal with. I guess relocate is the way that makes it work.
Smoke.
Oh, always want to fly. In trouble. but they're not going to find him. Instead, it's just a jump forward. There must have been some type of miscommunication there, because it seemed like Witch Doctor knew something was up, and they're just both going to die. Like, that one hurt.
I think they knew. It's just he probably misjudged how much time he had. I think he was being a little greedy and tried to farm out the wave beforehand.
Well, tier 3 tower being assaulted. We've seen time and again the comeback potential from an IO Tiny when they're managed to find... Oh god, this is going to be disastrous. They're going to jump forward. He does end up popping the BKB, turns the bike and starts to steal some damage away from Crystal. He can time walk into this. And now with the silence out as well from the Mask of Madness, he can't actually time walk away. There's going to be the Avid, not quite on the mark. Cool Man, not there. He's going to toss forward with the Razor, start to beat the hell out of Snako. They do manage to find that blast. Now Roger going to die as well, but he will secure that the rest of NaVi gets out. Well played by NaVi to retreat without losing any heroes of real worth.
I feel like that could have been much worse. It's just unfortunate that Gambit missed some abilities. And by abilities, I mean Avalanche.
Yeah. I mean, right now General has an AC. Like, this is insanely farmed for this hero. I don't know if I've seen a Beastmaster at this high net worth before, like relative to the rest of the heroes in the game.
Yeah, I actually have a hard time thinking of any time that's ever happened, but well, Gambit, they need more kills like that. Even if it is supports, they're behind, so everything counts.
Well, always want to fly. It's going to be able to walk away from that one, thankfully. I'm very impressed again with NaVi's play here, and just the I like the reason that I really didn't expect much from them was because it's basically the same lineup that they had before with only a few changes, and they were struggling so much previously with it. So to me, it's very impressive to see them like come back this strong at the very first game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Still a lot of game left to be played, a lot of series left to be played. We'll see what Gambit can pull back here, as they have a lineup that's built to try and split push and keep the lanes pressured out.
Well, don't forget, 2 players is a very big change, and
Radiant's
it is only one game.
Under attack.
You never know.
True enough.
You gotta give it time.
Is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower.
Right. Bottom tower goes down by Cheshire Cat. Beastmaster makes that lovely sound as he picks up a bounty rune. The best bounty rune pickup sound in the game.
Because for me right now, the way the game feels is that they did a really good job in the early game, and they're doing an okay-ish job in containing them. But like, as this game is progressing, I feel like they're just not dealing with this split push at all.
Yeah.
Look at this puck.
Uh-oh. This might be the way to deal with it, though. Cool Man gonna get caught. There's the X. Torrent connects now onto the Tiny, but the relocate away keeps him alive. So they will end up losing a Wisp, most likely.
But this is exactly what Gambit wanted, right? Like, look at where the Wisp is dying.
Yeah.
He's dying right outside the base, and they TP'd like the entire team here. So NaVi, all 5 heroes, you know, mid lane, around the mid lane and bottom lane, and this makes enough space for the rest of the team to catch up slowly. Like, only like a minute ago, the net worth lead for NaVi was about 6K. Gambit already shortened it by 2K. It's back at 4K now.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what they need to do. It looks like they're going to be able to pressure out again towards this top lane. It does feel like maybe if they don't end up securing a tier 3 tower with this Aegis, is that when you start to get a little bit worried about what's going to happen going forward?
I wouldn't be worried. I think their comp definitely has what it takes to win this game. Like, even if Gambit get their farm up, I still think that our lineup is capable of winning this game, but I just worry for them getting outmaneuvered and they get like split pushed to death.
Yeah.
I think because I think Dendy should have gone the Scepter a little earlier, because it makes your global presence like that much stronger.
Yeah.
Because Faceless Void has a Shadow Blade, he can just find people on his own. You know, you have Zeus ulti, you have AA ulti, and then if you have Nimbus on top of that too, like you'll actually be able to kill anyone.
Yeah. Oh, they're setting up here. They want to try and find Dendi, but there's an inkling that something might be going on. General up here. Little blink black. Can I get him the Eul Scepter lift up?
He's almost out of mana.
There. Dream Coil used as well. Cheshire Cat, what is going on? Run away, guys. Use your orb. Did I miss something there?
He couldn't do anything. He was getting slowed. He had spells on cooldown, and he was getting his mana drain.
He didn't have Illusory Orb? I felt like I saw that up for a second. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been known to be wrong before.
It's possible it did at the end, but
yeah.
I'm gonna assume
that
it wasn't available.
I'm with you. Coolman is gonna take the first tier 3 tower of the game, and they're just gonna relocate out. All right, this is a problem now. Officially concerned about what the hell is gonna happen over the next few minutes.
But see, this is the issue.
Yeah,
this happens again. Tiny is dead outside the enemy base. He really doesn't care.
Yeah, Io is perfectly fine with that. All right, the wheels are coming off. Faceless Void does get the 120 GPM talent. And it looks like we do have almost a... Like, if they want to go for it, they can go for a BKB here. This is... I don't think this works.
The TP
immediately cracking. What? All right, they're trying to TP in, trying to make this play happen. He ends up chronoing, but they do have a good amount of heroes in the era. Always want to fly, is trying to deal the damage they need to, but the BKB gets popped from Crystallize, and with that Diffusal Blade, he salvages the situation, takes down not just the Tiny, but also the Witch Doctor.
The classic TP onto the bird.
Yeah. But while this is going on, Gambit is pressuring along the bottom. The plus side is that NaVi do have TPs back with the X marks the spot to try and push the lane out, but we'll see if they have to trade towers here or not, since there is already the bottom one down.
They should be fine. The only concern is if Wisp has relocate or not, but it's not for another 10 seconds. Otherwise, Tiny could buy back and they could easily take the bottom rack and get back to defend.
Alright. Roared up on the Witch Doctor. He is going to drop. They have buyback on the Tiny if they want to use it. And it's going to be another tier 3 tower. So 2 lanes of racks taken down rather rapidly. So Io is going to get himself the hell out of dodge before things start to go down. And still NaVi sticking around. Gambit, he's going to walk forward the Razor and pop the BKB to no avail. It just keeps him from dying. Meanwhile, the Puck looking for an opening. They end up bashing and killing Cheshire Cat. The relocate in. If this does not work out, things are looking quite bad. The boat is going to come out. They end up finding another bash. Tiny again controlled, taken down, tossed up in the air. And they actually don't even have the damage to even bring down Seneko very quickly. And now they're going to be able to turn it back around with the Dendi Zeus. Tiny is gone. And NaVi are looking to possibly finish off this game, or at the very least, maybe even take another set of racks. Good game, well played, gets called. NaVi stomping down Gambit.
That was a good attempt from Gambit to try to make it back, but unfortunately all it takes is one mistake and the game just goes downhill from there. But very well done by NaVi. Very nicely executed. Even though the AA wasn't having the greatest of starts, General just destroyed his lane. It was... From that first blood onwards, I mean, he was just skyrocketing out of control.
Yeah. I mean, what the thing was when I was looking at this lineup, I was really concerned that NaVi wasn't going to have enough damage, and I think that that Zeus pick last was like such a good decision because they like that's basically all that, you know, Zeus brings to the table. They had all the control in the world with either pre-BKB with Roger or post-BKB with Faceless Void and the Beastmaster, that at all stages of the game, like you were saying, they had an answer for that Tiny, and we saw it in that last team fight. Before BKB, he was controlled by Roger, throwing out a couple of X's. Then they ended up being able to, I don't remember if they chronoed or roared him, or actually they just punched him and they bashed him. And then afterwards, they ended up getting another X, and then Dendi brought the damage. Rough game indeed for Gambit, but they're going to have to bring it back in game number 2. Steven, what do you see as the main culprit in this one, and how would you try and draft for the next game for Gambit?
I think if you want to run something like Wisp Tiny, I think you really should at least try to hide it a little bit. I feel like that opener made it very difficult for them to draft the rest of the way, and it just felt like nothing worked together. There was no synergy with their lineup. Everyone was just running around trying to accomplish something, but because of the lineup, they weren't really able to make anything happen. Like when you have a Wisp and a Puck, this Puck is supposed to find people for your Wisp to relocate into, but that never happened, right? Like not even once.
Yeah.
So it really defeats the purpose of the lineup.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be back in just a little while with our next match. It's going to be Game 2 of NaVi versus Gambit Esports. Then afterwards, we've got more matches here in the CIS qualifiers where we're going to see the new and improved, well, I'm not sure if it's improved or not. Roger is now on NaVi, but it's the new Empire where they've been able to pull in a wild Van score who's going to face off against Hakoche, which I'm pronouncing incorrectly. So I hope that you will forgive me for that, but we'll be back in a few. NaVi versus Gambit, Game 2.